أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا حبيب الله رب العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين ولعن الدائم على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد، فقد قال أمير المؤمنين في مناجاة شعبانية: فقد هربت إليك ووقفت بين يديك مستكينا لك متضرعا إليك راجيا لما لديك تراني أو ثوابي وتعلم ما في نفسي وتخبر حاجتي وتعرف الضمير. Tonight we will be continuing once again on the discussion or a commentary upon one of the marvelous munajat, the whispered supplication of Amirul Mu'mineen, known as Munajat Shabaniya. We will deal with the 7th verse of this munajat tonight, which is وَتَعْلَمُ مَا فِي نَفْسِي وَتَخْبُرُ حَاجَتِي وَتَعْرِفُ الضَّمِيرِ. If time permits, we will go further to verse number 8. However, if you may recall, in our last program, we had to briefly point out to the aspect of Raji'an lima ladayka tarani aw thawabi. We talked about that the system or the method that is within a human being is that of expectation in return of certain action that he performs. This is something embedded in his fitrah, in his nature. So therefore now to have a ruju, to have that hope, raji'an lima ladayka thawabi, one is really expecting from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that he will be rewarded for fulfillment of what God have desired for him. وَوَقَفْتُ بَيْنَ يَدَيْهِ. Now, وَاسْمَ دُعَا إِذَا دَعَوْتُكَ وَاسْمَ نِدَائِي إِذَا نَادَيْتُكَ and all of that sort of different levels that we have covered and we have talked about. وَاقْبِلْ إِلَيَّ إِذَا نَاجَيْتُكَ فَقَدْ هَرَبْتُ إِلَيْكَ وَوَقَفْتُ بَيْنَ يَدَيْكَ. Now we ask وَوَقَفْتُ بَيْنَ يَدَيْكَ مُسْتَكِينًا لَكَ مُتَضَرِّعًا لَكَ إِلَيْكَ. I'm standing in a state of istikana. We talked about what istikana means. We talked about what mutadarri'an means, in a state of tadarri, and then raji'an, and then I have this hope that you will provide me with a reward. Now, hope is one of the key factor of takamul insan. Takamul means perfection of human being is through the phenomena of hope. Hope is very much necessary that we all need to have in regards to Islamic upbringing, in regards to tarbiyat Islami, in regards to sayr suluk, spiritual wavering. Hope plays a great deal of impact on our perfection. We should never give up hope. We should always have hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, no matter how less we do, no matter how much we do. We have to have that umeed, that hope in God. Hope is a factor that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, out of His mercy, reflects that in us. The more an individual have ma'rifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the more hope he will have in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It depends on the understanding and ma'rifat of God. When we say that to have hope, it doesn't mean that we do not fulfill or carry out the actions which God desires from us. We carry out those things which are required for our tarbiyat, for our training, for our bringing out the good that we have in us. We have to do that And at the same time, we have to have hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, raji'an lima ladayka thawabi or tarani. Now, tarani, which is a bit more irfani element that we find, is that I have this hope of, seeing you, to see the beauty of God. I'm doing all of this in order that I kind of reach to a point where I could see you. And that is where our Ahl Bayt, Masumeen, the Quran, the Anbiya and Awliya wants us to reach, where we could see God. Abu Basir, I have mentioned this earlier, comes to Imam Sadiq and he says, the Sufis are of the opinion that you could see God on the Day of Judgment. How can you see God? Imam Sadiq says that, why do you have to wait to see the Lord or see God? Or I would say, why one have to wait to see the beloved to the Day of Judgment? You could see God now. Imam Sadiq says you could see God now. Before everything that you see, before every little thing, every shay, before everything that you see, before seeing that thing, you see God first, and then you see that thing. It is you and I who is blinded, who has been curtained, who have this hijab, where we do not see the divine beauty of our Lord, but we tend to get busy, we tend to get overwhelmed, we tend to be preoccupied with the outward beauty that we see. When God, the divine and the sovereign, who is able to create that magnificent beauty in the valleys, in the humming birds and the bees near that flower which is of different colors and which provides sweet taste of honey, right? So imagine how beautiful the Lord is. So we get preoccupied with this. We do not see the Lord. But Imam is saying that a person sees Lord first, and then after that he sees the Lord. Allahu nuru samawat wal ard. Allah is the light of the heaven and earth. Now it is this light that is making me see, for example, you. If this light was not there, make the brightness on your screen completely dark, no light. It is as if there is only black screen. You will not be able to see me. But if you increase the light, you will be able to see me. And Allah is the light. Allah is the nur by which everything comes into existence. Allah is that nur by which everything, by which all fears and all ignorances diminish. There's a dark room. I'm afraid to go inside that room because I might trip or I might fall, or I'm not sure that who is inside that room. But when I bring that nur, when I turn that light, then there is no fear. There is ilm, there is knowledge, there is no, khawf there, because light have arrived and God is that light, right? So therefore, there's a very unique and fascinating, understanding of light from an Islamic point of view, which perhaps, if Allah give us tawfiq, we can discuss it some other time. So, raji'an lima ladayka tarani, I have this hope that I will be able to see you. So one doesn't have to wait till the Day of Judgment to see their Lord. Now obviously this seeing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not with our naked eye, but it is with the third eye. It is with the third eye, it's with that heart. One really sees the Lord, right? One really sees. Do I worship the Lord that I don't see? Amirul Mu'mineen is mentioning this. So seeing, with that presence, with that heart is of matter. And our Ahl Bayt, the Imams, the Prophet and the Quran wants us to reach that maqam, So these du'as, they are amazing prescription, amazing help for us to reach to that level. As says in one beautiful hadith from Imam Jafar as-Sadiq alayhi salam, innahu laysa min abdin mu'min illa fi qalbihi nuran. There isn't a mu'min, in his heart there are two nur. Nuru khifatin wa nuru raja'in. There is the light of fear, khif, and there is a light of hope. Both are light. The fear is also light, and the hope is also light, right? And it is in the mu'min, it is in the heart of a mu'min. He has that. Now, obviously, this is vis-a-vis the Lord. This is in comparison with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If there is a fear which is not the fear of Allah, that is not light. If there is a hope and that is not the hope in the Lord, that is not the light. But the fear of Allah is light, and the hope in Allah is light. لو وزن هذا لم يزد على هذا ولو وزن هذا لم يزد على هذا. Very beautifully mentioned. If one kind of examine the nur of fear upon the nur of hope, it will not become extra. If nur of hope and he does not have the fear of does not have the nur of fear, then it creates that imbalance. So there is two lights in well balance into the heart of a moment, which is important. So now, why do I bring this hadith? In order to understand, rajian lima ladayka thawabi. I have this ruju, I have this factor of umeed and hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most merciful of merciful. Imam as-Sadiq in a hadith says that even shaitan will be hopeful on the day of judgment that God might forgive him. Shaitan, I'm sorry, going a bit in the margin, is a very amazing existence. Shaitan, is a very amazing existence. He is someone who had that ma'rifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the highest level and was in love with God. This not liking Adam is out of jealousy, is out of that jealousy. He was so much overwhelmed by the love. Well, inshallah, some other time we could discuss about the existence of shaitan and the beauty of shaitan. We'll discuss that some other time, inshallah. وَتَعْلَمُ مَا فِي نَفْسِي. As we said, we will talk about verse number 7. وَتَعْلَمُ مَا فِي نَفْسِي وَتَخْبُرُ حَاجَتِي وَتَعْرِفُ ضَمِيرِي. وَتَعْلَمُ مَا فِي نَفْسِي. There is ilm in this verse and khabar. Ta'alamu means having the knowledge. So you have the knowledge, O Lord. Mustaqinan, mutadarri'an, raji'an lima ladayka tarani aw thawabi. وَتَعْلَمُ مَا فِي نَفْسِي وَتَخْبُرُ حَاجَتِي وَتَعْرِفُ ضَمِيرِي. You are fully aware. وَتَعْلَمُ مَا فِي نَفْسِي. What is in my nafs? There is nothing hidden from you. You are aware of that. So here I am showing, I am manifestating, I am pointing out to this kamal and perfection of the Lord that, O Lord, you have the knowledge of everything what is in my nafs. You know everything. Knowing that in the heart is one thing, expressing that is another thing. It is very much required that we express, as we mentioned this hadith earlier, that Allah says that, "O Musa, come to me," in a fashion that how a slave comes to his master, where he expects that his lifeline is in the hand of the master. Allah loves, Allah likes to see the truthfulness of ours. And we have to express our truthfulness that we are faqir. So we know we have to express that, "Oh Allah, that you are aware, وَتَعْلَمُ مَا فِي نَفْسِي وَتَخْبُرُ حَاجَتِي." You have the khabir is from khabar. You have the, there is ilm and there is khabar. Khabar, as we say, news. Khabar is news. They say khabar. Khabar is where one have the precise knowledge of every little thing in detail. That is called khabar. So, ta'alamu ma fi nafsi, O Allah, you are aware of what is in my nafs, and at the same time you have the khabar of what is in my nafs as well. So this is pointing out to both elements of insan, that Allah, He's pointing out to this element of insan that, "Oh Allah, I know that you have the knowledge, and also, oh Allah, I know that you have the khabar, you know the intricate details of what is in me. Wallahu ya'lamu ma fi qulubikum," as Allah says in the Quran, right? Allah says in the Quran that Wallahu ya'lamu ma fi qulubikum. Allah is fully aware of what is in your heart. And وَتَعْرِفُ dhamiri wa dhamiri means that you are aware of what I desire and what I want. وَلَا يَخْفَى عَلَيْكَ أَمْرُ مُنْقَلِبِي وَمَثْوَى وَمَا أُرِيدُ أَنْ أُبْدِيَ بِهِ مِنْ مَنْطِقِي وَأَتَفَوَّعُ بِهِ مِنْ تَلِبَتِي وَأَرْجُوهُ لِعَافِيَتِي. This is verse number 8. وَلَا يَخْفَى عَلَيْكَ أَمْرُ مُنْقَلِبِي وَمَثْوَى. Oh Allah, there isn't any sort of amr or any command that that you are not aware of. There is all amr and all commands. Wallahu wa huwa Allahu fis samawati wa fil ard ya'lamu sirrakum wa jahrakum wa ya'lamu ma taksibun. Whatsoever, who Allah is the one, fis samawat wa fil ard, whatsoever is in the heaven and the earth, He has the knowledge of sirrakum, the secrets, and what is apparent, wa ya'lamu ma taksibun, and whatsoever you acquire, by your hand, for example, God is fully aware of that. Wallahu ya'lamu mutaqallibakum wa mathwaakum. In another verse, Allah says that God is fully aware of the sort of what you call the qarargah, as they say, the place of command. God is fully aware of that. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so now in these two verses, which will kind of look into more detail, what does it really mean by ma uridu an ubdiya bihi min mantiqi? Is it a nutq? Is a speech, is speaking, which insan have that ability to do so. So it is pointing out to a kamal where even before we bring to our speech, God is aware of that. God has that power to really know that. God knows everything, the minute details. Even before we tend to intend anything, it comes to God first. So in these two verses, what we are trying to point out to is that we are pointing out to the fascinating knowledge of the Lord, that Allah is aware of us. Allah is aware of all of these things, inshallah. Now, when we continue, but these awareness and achievement of our reward in the hereafter depends upon our action as well. Not that He is only aware of. Yes, we are saying that you are aware of it, but at the same time, God have informed us and asked us to perform certain action that we are supposed to carry out. Right? It says, لا تكن ممن يرجو الآخرة بغير عمل. Do not have any hope, in the akhirah without action. We have to do the action, right? We have to have the awareness of that. Now, in the exact translation of these verses, in regards to وَلَا يَخْفَ عَلَيْكَ أَمْرُ مُنْقَلِبِي, it goes this way. We said وَتَعْرِفُ ضَمِيرِي, which means that He recognizes my hidden affair. He's aware of. وَلَا يَخْفَ عَلَيْكَ أَمْرُ مُنْقَلِبِي, and all my moves and stillness are known by you. Allah is aware of every movement of ours. He's fully aware of it. وَمَا أُرِيدُ أَنْ أُبْدِيَ بِهِ مَنْتِقِي. So are all the utterances which I want to begin with. Everything that I want to begin with, Allah is aware of that. وَأَتَفَوَّأُ بِهِ مِنْ تَلِبَتِي. All the requests that I want to express, He is aware of that as well, the thing that I want. We kind of sense this with our children. When a child comes, before the child expresses something that he wants, In the same way, we are the children of God. God is fully aware before even we express that, right? And how ironical is that it is you who have taught the child to say what chocolate means. You say this is chocolate, right? You have taught him that. The same way God have taught us. And when they express that, and when the child, for example, if the child uses respectful tone, in a respectful manner, when he comes and requests you, a father or a mother will be willing to give more than what the child is really asking. So in the same way, when we approach God, when we speak to God, when we supplicate with God, when we use these du'as which are taught by the Masumeen, by the Ahl Bayt, they are aware of it, the chemistry that exists within it, right? And when we use this type of approach to God, then, the heaven unveils, the reality unveils, the light shines. So here it says that, Oh Allah, right? You are fully aware all the requests that I want to express, وَأَرْجُوهُ لِعَاقِبَتِي, and all the expectation that I hope for my future. I expect later on how beautifully this dua, the time will come, points out to that, oh Allah, with the husn zan, with that sort of hope of being forgiven, with that hope that I have in you, I have done you have showed me beauty in this dunya, you have showed me beauty in this dunya, and how can I expect that you show me beauty in the hereafter? We have this hope, this ruju, this sort of hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now here, all that, alright, وَأَرْجُوهُ لِعَافِيَتِي, all that I, express, or all expectation that I hope for my future, is in you, and all that which you, O my Master, have decided. وَقَدْ جَرَتْ مَقَادِرُكَ عَلَى يَا سَيِّدِي. Now we enter into the verse number 9, which talks about maqadiruka ala sayyidi, and that which you, O my Master, have decided for me. Now this discussion of taqdeer is very important. God have decided for me. What does that mean? Do I not have the free will to really do what I want to do? Or is it really God have decided for me? As God have decided for me, then if something happens, then I should not be blameworthy of. So these are the discussion of taqdeer, of qada and qadar, of taqdeer, of destination, predestination, which we will try to kind of attend to it in our next program, because the time will not really allow us to kind of look into this issue of qaza and qadar. Once again, in these three verses, what we are trying to point out to is that, oh Allah, you know everything. But saying you know everything is one thing, but expressing this you know everything in different forms is something else. This points out to the eloquency, to the fasahat, to the balaghat, the eloquency of the speaker, that how beautifully he is phrasing this reality in different ways, right? And that's what makes attractive. That's what becomes beautiful. And God is inna Allaha jamilun wa yuhibbul jamal. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is known to be as beauty, and inna Allah jamilun, Allah is jamil, Allah is beautiful, and He is someone who loves beauty. Now so far we have reached to verse number 9. وَقَدْ جَرَتْ مَقَادِرُكَ عَلَيَّ يَا سَيَّدِي فِيمَا يَكُونُ مِنِّي إِلَىٰ آخِرِ أُمْرِي مِنْ سَرِيرَتِي وَعَلَانِيَتِي. I say that by certainty, the taqdeer, the taqdeer, maqadir, is you are aware of this taqdeer, and it is through your decision, oh my Lord, as the translation goes. I really wonder how much time we got left, to really continue the discussion of taqdeer. So we will continue. I think we still have time. Thank you very much. Now here in the verse number 9, as we of the munajat, we recite that وَقَدْ جَرَتْ مَقَادِرُكَ عَلَى يَا سَيَّدِي. All that which you, O my master, have decided for me, decided for me up to the end of my life, including my secret and open matters, shall be experienced by me. وَقَدْ جَرَتْ مَقَادِرُكَ عَلَيَّ يَا سَيَّدِي فِيمَا يَكُونُ مِنِّي إِلَىٰ آخِرِ عُمْرِي, till the end of my time. Right? مِنْ سَرِيرَتِي وَعَلَانِيَتِي, whether this be in sort of hiding, or whether this be including in my secrets and open matters. Now this taqdeer, as we said, it's a very important issue. Allah is all powerful. He is qadir mutlaq. He is the absolute powerful. There isn't anything that is outside the qudrat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, outside the power and control of God. It will not be fair to say that, we make our own taqdeer. Yes, on a horizontal level, that is true, that it is we, because Allah have given us the power to do so, and this power is connected to the power of God vertically. So vertically it is the power of God, horizontally it is my action because of the power that God have given me. So this power that God have given me, I am using it in this fashion. However, this usage of this fashion is connected to that vertical power of God. Now usage of this fashion is in accordance to my understanding and what I want to do. So that is why God beautifully says, Imam Raza beautifully says in a hadith that, O children of Adam, you with my mashiyat intends whatever you desire. There's a thing called mashiyat. Mashiyat is a very complex phenomena. That is a mystery. It is unresolved mystery by intellectual capacity, in the complete sense. This is called mashiyat ilahi. It is something that God sort of made it a very unique and special mystery known as mashiyat. So he's saying, O children of Adam, right? You with my mashiyat intends whatever you desire, right? And with my quwwah act, and you act with my mashiyat that I have given you, intends whatever you desire. You intend something, it is because of the mashiyat ilahi that God have given that power, that mashiyat, through that, right? It returns back to that mashiyat. My intention returns back to that mashiyat. My desire returns back to that mashiyat. And with His power, I act. With the power, with the quwwah that I act, right? Now, let me read the exact translation, commentary which I'm using. This is from Usul-e-Kafi, volume number 1. It's a Farsi translation the author have brought here. ای فرزند آدم تو به مشیت من آنچه را برای خویش می‌خواهی. It is because of the mashiyat you regard whatever you desire, whatever. اراده می‌کنی و به واسطه قوه من واجباتم را انجام می‌دهی. And you fulfill the wajibat with the quwwah that I have given you. و به واسطه نعمت من بر معصیتم توانگر گشتی. And because of the ni'mat that I have given you, with this you have the power to commit a sin. Ni'mat is eyes. Now with this eye, ni'mat is my tongue, ni'mat is my ears, my hands and feet. These are the ni'mat. As these ni'mat have been given to you, and because of this ni'mat that have been provided to you, you are misusing these ni'mat that have been provided to you, and you are going in that, committing that sin. Tu shanawa bina wa quwa qarar dadam. Anche khubi be to mirasad. Whatever good comes to you, ni'mat that God have given, whatever good comes to you, it is from the Lord. وَأَزْ جَانِبِ مَنْ وَأَنْچَ أَزْ بَدِي بِتُو مِيرَسَدْ أَزْ خُدِت مِبَاشَدْ. And whatsoever bad comes to you, it is from yourself. So this ni'mat comes from Allah, this qudrat comes from Allah, this mashiyat comes from Allah. It is your desire, it is your action, and it is your utilization of this ni'mat. Now as I have given you all that is good, then if you use this for goodness, it is from the Lord, because God have given that, and God have asked us to use it for good, and God have asked us not to use it for bad, for evil acts. That's the Sharia, is that. So from vertically speaking, God have given me all of this, and from the horizontal point of view, God have given that Shariat, that I have to act this way. God have asked me to act this way. Now, if it is me who is utilizing this quwwah that God have given me, which is within the jurisdiction and power of God, in the wrong way or in the right way. Now, God will have clearly said, I have given you this, but I'm going to judge you on the day of judgment. Not that I quickly do something wrong, God will hold my hand. Then where lies the question of test? Then there will be no question of reward on the day of judgment, or there will be no question of a person committing a mistake. I did something wrong, quickly God punishes me, my friend sees me and says, oh, this happened, so he will not do it, right? Then it will not make sense that God have given us free will. It will not make sense. So now God have given me that free will. With this free will, I have to really make that decision. Now that's why it says that whatsoever, now having said that, keeping this in mind, inna Allah la yukallifu nafsan illa wusaha, and it is according to the capacity of human being, how much that he can take. God will test in accordance to that capacity. He will not overburden that where an insan could burn himself by carrying it out, or by, God doesn't want haraj. In fiqh as well we recite that God doesn't want haraj, means difficulty, to make it difficult for human being. God is just testing us. Obviously the aspect of test have a bit of tahammul, of patience, of forbearing. One really have to forbear that. But it is not the question that there is no capacity at all. The aspect of test, it will not make sense. If you go in a training and then say lift it 100 kilo, we cannot. So there is no reward for him. No, it doesn't make sense. Lift 15 kilo, the man lifts. Lift 20 kilo, after a while the man lifts. So it's a forbearing. Not that all of us are God have, God test us. La yukallifullahu nafsan illa wusa. If the nafs, if doesn't have the capacity to really take that, he will not really give that to us. As I said, as Imam Baqarah said, وَلَا يُكَلِّفُهَا فَوْقَ طَاقَتِهَا. Allah will not test more than His taqat. وَأَفْعَالُ الْعِبَادِ مَقْلُوقَةٌ خَلْقَ تَقْدِيرٌ لَا خَلْقَ تَكْوِينٌ. The af'al, God will never test more than what He can handle, and the actions of human being, are considered to be, as they say that, it's considered to be well measured, right? It's been well measured. The actions are well measured, what he carries out. And God takweenan creates that, at that instant. Inshallah. I think we will stop here and we will try to look at verse number 10 a bit more on, if we could shed some more light to make things clearer, because the discussion of Qaza and Qadar is a complex discussion, is a very theological discussion that we will deal with it in our next program as well. And also وَبِيَدِكَ لَا بِيَدِ غَيْرِكَ زِيَادَتِي وَنَقْصِي وَنَفْئِي وَذَرْئِي. Inshallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept your du'as of munajat of Sha'baniyah. And I would recommend that, after looking at this program, just have a read and skim through this munajat so far where we have reached. Just read the translation and try to recollect what we have discussed. It is nothing that comes from me. Like I said, it comes from those who have done a commentary on these munajat, which I'm using the text of Ayatullah Tahriri. Thank you very much for joining us. Ghafarallahu lana wa lakum. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.